Welcome. I'm going to do a short tutorial on how to write functions. Quick review that a function is a behavior in code that is part of a class or an object. A class is the group, an object is an instance of that group. So a class might be cats, an object would be your cat. The reason I bring that up now is because our functions so far have been static, and the only function we've been using is the main, which belongs to the program class. So all instances of this class within your code have the same main. Don't worry too much about that. We'll get into it in a little bit. But a function is either static or not, has a return type. Void means that it doesn't return anything. A name, and then a list of arguments. And that's input into your function. We're going to create a static function. And the reason we use static is so that we can use it without creating an instance of the program class. It's going to return an integer. I suggest your functions be very simple. I tend to feel that you should be able to describe it with a verb and a noun. In this case, we're going to call it get input. And to make it more generic so that I can use it in more than just one circumstance, I'm going to have it take a string that I'm going to call prompt. And prompt will be the message that's displayed to the user to get them to type a number, because we'll use, say, a number between 1 and 5, but then somewhere else we might want a number between 6 and 27 or something like that. Okay? I'm going to create a stub, which is the minimum code necessary for the program to run. Not to do what it's supposed to do, just to run. And because I've said this is an integer type, it has to return a number. And then how to use this will compile. It will do absolutely nothing but compile. I'm going to create a variable to hold the input, because I need one in the main also to hold the input. I'm going to call it choice. And then we just set that equal to our function, and I'm going to give it a prompt. Between 1 and 10. Now, this is declaring literals in the code, and it's a very good idea to put, or in this case, this would be constants or something that we're going to use. It's a good idea to declare them other places, and I'll cover that in this later on in this video or in the next one. But this will run. Okay. And actually, let me go ahead and do those constants now. And the way this works is you just do const and then a variable declaration. This tradition is to make them all capitals so that we know that they're constants. Right? So and now if I wanted to change this program to make it between 1 and 100, or 1 or 3 and 7 or whatever, I can just change them here and it'll change everywhere as long as I do this. Okay, I haven't done anything yet. So you add a plus min plus, I need a space in here. That's one of the things that always gets me is you edit a string and you forget to put in the spaces. Okay, so now if I run this, it'll still say enter number between 1 and 10 because minimum is 1 and 10. All right? So I want to now get a number between 1 and 10. So I need to do string because console dot string input equals console dot read line. Read will get the character they type. Read line will get everything they type till they hit enter. So to get 10, we need them to be able to enter 2 digits. So we're just going to do read input. We're going to do int out val, and I just use that name because that's the value I'm putting out, equals integer dot excuse me. Getting ahead of myself. Try parse, and then I do need the declaration of integer, int out val, -1, set it to -1 because they never enter -1, okay? And I'm going to do input, and then out is out val. And remember this, it gets around the fact that try parse tells us whether it parses it successfully or not. And I'm going to do declare a Boolean. Okay. Equals false. Because I like to set it to a known value. And then is okay equals. Right? So this is designed to be used in a loop because it returns a Boolean. And the output is put in as a special kind of argument that is given out. Okay. Now, if we run this, it doesn't display anything, right? Because we need to do console dot write. And I'm doing write because I want the prompt and their input to be on the same line. And I'm going to put a semicolon at the end of it and a space so it looks nice. This will, and then we need to make this a return out val. Okay. But so right now it'll return -1 if there's an issue here with what they inputted. Okay. I'm going to move this to the top of the function because it's a good idea to put your variables okay. And I'm just adding some comments to make this easier to understand. Okay, now I want to repeat this till they do good work, right? or excuse me, good work, till they input good data. So I'm gonna put if not is okay, and remember not oh, I misspelled is okay. Right? If not is okay, console dot write line this time. You entered plus input plus need to enter number. Okay, and you could work on this. This is the kind of language that there's generally committees and groups that discuss this in bigger applications. Okay. Now the only thing we need is a loop. So while not is okay, because I made is okay equal to false, it will loop at least one time. Right? I suggest you do things because curly brackets can get easily lost. If you have the wrong number, it can be confusing. So I tend to put comments like if is okay, so that as my functions grow and grow, main EOC end of class, EONS end of namespace, run, it will force them to give good input. All right. So we have a function. We haven't done anything with what that input is, but this will run. All right. This is a brief introduction on function writing.